It turns out, siyempre Malacanang nagsabi nito, siguro naman confirmed ito 'no, base sa Malacanang, nag-a-apply ng political asylum itong si Zaldico at diyaan sa France 'no. How would this affect the push for by the government to get him back and face all the charges against him dito sa Pilipinas?
Ano,
Ano,
sobrang,
sobrang,
anong tawag dito,
anong
parang
tawag dito,
prescient
parang
yung
prescient yung
nasabi ko nung isang
nasabi ko
araw
nung isang
na
araw na
parang medyo, anong tawag, sorry nag-e-echo so medyo nakaka-distract. So medyo prescient yung nasabi ko last time na kung sakaling mag-apply man ng asylum si Mister Ko, it would be a very different story. Pero I stopped it there kasi sabi ko, we were working with the presumption that he had a Portuguese passport. And if he did have a Portuguese passport, hindi siya pwedeng mag-apply ng asylum ng basta-basta lang within the European Union because he's a European citizen. And not only that, he would have the right of abode in other places that would be deemed safe. So that asylum claim would not fly. So again, like taking into consideration that the source of facts here is Malacanang and medyo nakuryente tayo in the last 2 weeks. So parang I'll take it with a grain of salt. Parang kung totoo itong sinasabi na meron nga talaga siyang asylum claim na live in France, ibig sabihin hindi siya Portuguese national. It's very logical na ganun yung situation. Most likely, But of course, di na natin masasabi na baka naman ginawa niya yon kasi meron din naman case ng mga European citizens who have fled a European Union country for another European country or European Union country for political exile. For example, yung dating leader ng Catalan separatist groups. This was around 2018 and he fled to Belgium, lived in Brussels all his life until recently lang sila nagkaaragluan sa Spain. So hindi naman out of the ordinary na hindi naman imposible pero very narrow yung mga circumstances na po pwede to. So anong implications nito, Christian? So ibig sabihin para na tong pwedeng i-file sa same folder na kapareho nung kay Harry Roque na meron na siyang right against non-refoulement. Basically, it just kicks in automatically. It supersedes all other principles under international law and domestic law. France would have to respect it. They do respect it. And the process in France is not dissimilar to what we've been talking about to the Netherlands and to Austria na meron silang two-track system. So you make a claim, and then it is assessed if it's deemed a normal process. It goes through the normal timelines. And if there's a possibility na yung bansa na pinanggagalingan mo, that you're fleeing, belongs to a safe list of countries, then pwedeng weeks ang bilangin dito.
Again, anong ibig sabihin 'pag wala sa safe list ang Pilipinas? Para malinaw.
Ang ibig sabihin nito is nasa normal processing timeline siya. And
Matagal.
on paper, it looks like it's 6 months. I did check. Naglalaro siya anywhere between 3 to 5 months, paminsan reaching up to a year if they appeal. So the first office that they go to is the Office Français de Protection des Réfugiés Apatrides. So basically, ito yung mga first instance claim, decision maker ito. Then after that, he would potentially have a route of appeal through the administrative tribunal yung sa Cour nationale du droit d'asile. So ito yung mga asylum claims. And beyond that, meron pa yung parang pinaka-Supreme Court for administrative decisions in France. Kasi separate yan from civil and criminal. Wala silang yung parang Supreme Court natin na iisa. So sa kanila, sa France, yung administrative decisions, they can go to the Cour de Cassation if I'm not mistaken. Essentially,
Okay.
lahat ng administrative decisions dun pupunta.
Okay, so ang ang takeaway dito, this would further complicate efforts by the government supposedly to bring back Zaldico, no? So ang binabanggit mo maximum kung dadaan sa normal route, 1 year, tama?
It looks like it, at least for the two
Okay.
levels. And then beyond that, pwede siya mag-appeal sa Cour de
Pwede
Cassation.
pang tumagal. Okay, pwede pang tumagal. So in the meantime, hindi pwedeng mapauwi itong si Zaldico because he has a level of protection by virtue of his application for political asylum. So anong gagawin ng
Correct.
government dito? Hintay lang.
Hintay lang. And government-to-government relations provide all the information that is necessary. It is an administrative decision. It is open to an administrative officer to look at extrinsic evidence. And essentially, they just
Okay.
have to put it to the person claiming asylum to respond to, issues. Kasi
Okay.
political asylum claim to, so, they will have to be sensitive about ano yung reality. So like government to government communications open, but at the same time, it could facilitate like the French government into understanding what's going on.
Okay, isa kong tanong dito, Lou, 'no? Ano ba 'yan, yung pagtanggap ng application for a political asylum ng isang tao, kunwari ni Zaldico, is that simply ministerial and the part of the country, let's say France? Kailangan tanggapin nila 'yan? Or they also have that option to reject that outright? Let's say citing government-to-government relations, "We don't want to complicate things, and we know who you are." Puwede bang meron bang gano'ng option? Or kailangan
I don't
tanggapin
think
nila 'yan at idaan sa proseso?
Yeah, kailangan silang dumaan sa proseso. Built-in yan sa proseso. It is an international commitment that France has. They respect international law. They respect the rights of refugees and asylum seekers. The best that could happen here is potentially, for some reason, ma-determine na itong case na ito is, on its face, clearly walang merit. If that's the case, it could go through the faster process instead of the normal process. In that case, weeks ang bilangan.
Okay. In the meantime, again, we are assuming here na totoo yung sinabi ng Malacanang na nag-a-apply ng political asylum si Zaldico sa France. So, ibig sabihin, throughout the process, nasa France lang siya, hindi siya pwede lumabas to any other Schengen area or country.
That's correct. And putting in the Dublin regulations into the mix. So ibig sabihin yung visa niya was issued by the French embassy in Manila, most likely. Because that's where he should be claiming, assuming na correctly filed yung kanyang asylum claim. If that's the case, then he should not be leaving. So itong pag-ikot niya sa Europe, yung kanyang yung Euro tour niya, nakapagtataka. The only way that I can kind of like make sense of it is if he filed it very recently and baka nakapuslit lang, nakalabas. Alam naman natin yung iba nakakalabas at nakakapasok ulit because the borders within the Schengen zone, they don't really exist in the traditional sense. So I don't know how the French authorities are going to see it. Parang pwede tong gamiting technicalidad as abandonment of the claim, potentially. I don't know if they're going to approach it that way. Pero in theory, he should be staying in the country where he claimed asylum.
Oo. Kasi ang problema dito, hindi natin alam yung sequence, hindi natin alam yung timeline, 'no? Sinabi lang ng Malacanang na nag-a-apply for political asylum. So, ang impression ng tao diyan, ngayon lang yan nag-apply o recently lang. Pero bakit siya hindi, pero kung nag-apply siya before, paano siya nakakapag-ikot-ikot, hindi ba? I mean,
Correct.
there are
Yun
many
nga
different
yung
permutations of the situations, eh.
Correct. I mean, normally those who are in possession of a Schengen visa can stay up to 90 days in the Schengen zone within the 180-day window period, diba? So, pwede kasi yung situation niya, min-maximize niya yung 90 days as a tourist, paikot-ikot, wala namang restriction, wala pa namang warrant, walang red notice. So, walang restrictions, diba? And as long as the passport is valid, as long as your IDs are valid. And then potentially, on the 89th day, pwede siya nag-file ng claim within the Schengen state. So within France in that case. Pero once that claim is filed, he's not supposed to leave.
Okay. Eto, lastly, Lou, 'no? So, assuming again, 'no, na talaga meron pending application ito si Zaldico, we really have to take it with the sack of salt, 'no, hindi lang grain. Because of the recent tawag dito.
Kerfuffle.
Yeah, ng government. Okay. So, kailan puwedeng pumasok yung government dito? Puwede mag-intervene, let's say inform the French authorities about who Zaldico is, tell them that this is the guy who is applying for this political asylum.
I would use the normal streams if I were the government of the Philippines. So I would use the DFA lines of communication through the DFA to the embassy and get assurances from the French authorities in the French embassies on how they would communicate to whom they would communicate this. This would potentially be treated as extrinsic evidence by the decision maker. Of course, in an open system, Mr. Ko would have the ability to respond to that when faced with the evidence presented by the government of the Philippines. And also, like anyone really could write to the office in France and basically, maggunting kayo ng mga news clippings, i-compile ninyo, padala ninyo in French, in English, at para maintindihan. Extrinsic evidence to, it's part of like the information gathering process ng decision maker in order to come to a decision. Hindi lang naman yung, well, the burden of proof is of course to the person who is claiming asylum to prove what they're claiming. Of course, it's open to the administrative tribunal officer or rather yung sa first instance nga niya na tumingin din ng extrinsic evidence. So at that point, pwedeng mag-research kumbaga Inquisitorial kasi to eh. Hindi naman to actual parang court proceeding.
Okay, ito para lastly, no? If you were to advise this government, kasi mukhang ang pinag-usapan natin kahapon mukhang hindi nila alam yung ginagawa nila. Wala silang plano, at least based on what they have been doing and saying out in public. If you were to advise the Marcos administration, what would that be on how to go after Zaldico, assuming again, that is really applying for the political asylum?
How to go after? Well, then the normal lines of communication through the DFA, through the embassy, put all the information to the embassy and ask for it to be transmitted to to Paris essentially, so that the decision maker has all the information on hand. For example, alam nating may live cases against Mr. Ko. That decision maker in Paris might not necessarily have access to that. I don't know if like those pleadings that were filed in a court in the Philippines are online and accessible by the general public. But the government could take that initiative. Pero ang panawagan ko rin lang siguro is let's sort the facts out first. Kasi from yesterday's conversation, it seems to me that they don't even know their basic facts in order to actually formulate a prosecutorial strategy for this particular case. So from a narration, a basic narration lang of like the baseline facts, you can formulate a strategy na. And at that point, yun na nga, government to government relations are important, so that those pieces of information can reach the French government and that the officer deciding the case will have access to that information.
Alam mo, Sen, ang isa sa mga kinakaawaan ko rito sa buong episode na ito, si mahal na Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Imagine mo, ikaw yung nag-announce na nahuli na itong si Zaldico. Siyempre, pag Pangulo yung nagsabi, walang layers of deniability yan, di ba? Miski anong gawing masahe ng mga underlings niya talagang presidente nagsabi. Tapos excited yung mga tao. Talaga? So mapapauwi na. Yung pala, kuryente.
Dapat binibrief nila yung presidente. Ano ba yung mga rules dito sa Schengen? Tapos dapat protect nila yung principal Dapat may una munang fall guy. Katulad dito sa show, may fall guy Tapos meron munang lang na pag sakaling mali yung balita, siya lang yung sisisihin, di ba? Pag sigurado yung presidente, dapat matuto sila sa'yo No? Marunong fall guy. Very basic. Kung wala kang red notice, di ba? Kung wala kang kaso na nakasampa sa'yo, mga kailangan ng red notice sa Interpol, hindi ka pwedeng hulihin. Pwede ka lang i-detain sa few hours. Hindi nga araw a few hours lang Tapos papakawalan tayo. Kung halimbawa, meron ka mga problema sa mga information sa iyong mga travel documents, i-check ka lang naman Tapos ka lang ng mga digital copies, kaya magpaliwanag ka lang. Medyo maliwag dito kung nakapasok ka na. Kaya nga maraming asides. Hindi yung ikalawa. Hindi pa lang nila alam na nag-file ng asylum. Dito sa France. Sigurado may mga property po siya rito. Medyo matagal pa yung proseso niya. Alam lang naman kasi ma-reject yung kanyang asylum. Katulad ng kay Harry Roque. Pero medyo hindi sa proseso.
Pero alam mo, Sen, may isang leksyon na pwedeng matutuhan itong si mahal na Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Doon sa dating Pangulo, si FBR. I'm sure nadinig mo na ito, no? Isa to sa mga legends ni FBR Yung tinatawag na complete staff work.
For due diligence.
Due diligence and complete staff work. Iniisip ko lang, wala ba nag-brief sa Pangulo? Mr. President, ito po yung mga complications niya, no? Nasaga po kaming balita, mukhang na-detain o nahuli sa Czech Republic. Kung na-excite man yung presidente, sana muna may nagpaliwanag ng ng ramifications and scenarios. Hindi ko alam, no? Ano kaya sinabi sa kanya ng DFA? Kasi yung DOJ, correct me if I'm wrong, nung nag-press con kahapon si Secretary Vida, mukhang clueless din. Para bang, nagulat din siya. Ngayon lang niya nalaman na tatlo pala yung passport.
Tawa ka.
Diba?
Parang basang-basa no?
At nagbiyahe pa ng ganong katagal at kalayo, at gumastos pa.
Diba?
Para malaman
dapat
naman.
Dapat bago bumiyahe ron, pinadala mo muna yung ASEC tsaka USEC, di ba? Para alamin. Para pupunta ka, pag sigurado na. Again, the framework of the fall guy. Dapat may fall guy.
Oo nga
Turuan mo
eh.
kasi.
Hindi eh. Dapat matuto yun sa mga katulad ni Senator Edu eh. Ito pa no, nung pinapanood ko yung press conference ni Secretary Vida kahapon, parang ano naman sila no, naghahanap sila ng something positive na pwedeng ipabaon o maiuwi sa Pilipinas. Yung sinasabi, pinag-uusapan na po yung ano, yung tawag doon, yung possible mutual legal assistance ba or something. Kung meron silang, para sabihin na, hindi, meron naman kami napala sa lakad na ito. Actually, wala po eh. Oo.
Hindi, may mga nakabiyahe. Diba? Okay yun, ha? Maganda weather dito ngayon.
Hindi pa ba mainit?
Medyo, parang baggy weather.
Baguio. Sabagay, maganda kung nakapasyal man lang sila sa Charles Bridge, no? At saka dyan,
Yes.
mukhang nagpunta siya sa Santo Niño Church dyan eh. Nakita ko yung video eh.
Okay, dumaan sila sa Netherlands. Flower Festival ngayon. So,
Ngayon.
marami kang mga masasamang spirito. Medyo ma-exercise sa ganda ng mga bulaklak.
O sige, kaya natin pinag-uusapan itong si Zaldico, no? Kasi nga isang malaking kahihiyan nito. Huwag na po natin i-sugarcoat, no? Sumabog po ito sa mukha ng Pangulo. Kaya siguro next time, miski gigil na gigil yung Pangulo to take charge of the narrative or to seize the narrative dito sa flood control, lagyan niya naman po ng konting layers of deniability, no? Medyo konting cordon sanitaire ba yun? Ano ba yung term na ginagamit niyo, Sen?
Yes, mga firewall to protect the principal. Always protect the principal. Lalo na, parang nakadikit yan doon sa plano nila na sampahan ng kaso si Speaker Martin Romualdez. Dahil wala masyadong smoking gun eh. Diba? Yung case si Gutesa, missing in action. Yung 18 Marines, parang labo ng affidavit. So, kung sakali, ito lang ang kanilang smoking gun. Kaya siguro excited sila. So, may tama sa yan doon sa kanilang plano.
Yun na nga, nakakapag-inayang yun. Bakit ganun ang nangyari? Bakit ganun ang nangyari? Biglang nawala doon.
Pwede bang ano pa?
Wala naman kasi wala naman nakasampang sa kanyang kaso eh.
Papatay-patay kasi.
Walang nakasampang kaso sa kanya. Wala namang red notice eh. So, hindi siya pwedeng i-hold ng check authorities. Kailangan siyang pakawalan after a few hours. No?
Yun na nga.
Yun ang rules. Ang dapat ginawa ng Malacanang.
Batas din nila yan.
Yes. Dapat ginawa ng Malacanang, sinikurado muna. Tapos dapat hindi muna yung presidente ang nagsalita. Iba sa atin, kung panahon natin, protect the principal. Diba? Protect the principal.
Exactly. Ang nangyayari ngayon, iba. Di siya ang pinapasalita. Even yung mga gano'n na yes, mag-create ng ICI, and then yung gano'n na yes, meron ng kakasuhan o makukulong before the end of the year, at hindi naman nila sinikurado. Bakit tinayaan? Bakit ang Pangulo mismo and then sa excise tax? So it happened a lot of times already. And ito na naman yung latest. Hindi dapat ganun. Tama kasi Ronald, nung panahon ni Pinoy. Tayo ang humaharap.
Ang tingin ko po kasi dyan ill-advised eh. And pangalawa, parang he's trying to make up for to deal with criticism na hindi siya take charge eh. Yan, take charge siya. Ang problema naman sumabog sa mukha niya. Kasi to be honest about it, napahiya siya eh. Nung siya nag-announce na nahuli si Zaldico, tapos yung pala, napalabas na, di ba? Parang,
it must be the responsibility of the cabinet secretary concerned o anuman, sino man mang alter ego or subaltern niya na dapat yung maging focal point o focal person sa isang usapin. Depende sa issue. Sinisigurado yan. Kaya nga alter ego. You do the things, you do the dirty work, so to speak. You do the preparatory work on behalf of your principal. Para the moment na humarap ang principal mo sa publiko, sigurado ang sinasabi niya na hindi sasablay.
Tama.
That's, I think, basic. It's even basic. It's fundamental sa relationship ng principal and also agent. Principal agent. And the agents here are the alter egos, the cabinet secretaries, and other levels in the executive department.
Ano bang basa niyo pala dyan? No? Mapapauwi pa kaya yung sa Zaldico? Assuming na totoo yung sinasabi ng Malacanang na nag-a-apply siya ng political asylum, which might take
Mahirap
time.
na kasi kapag makakuha ng political asylum. Pero yung pagkuha ng asylum dyan sa circumstances, the particular circumstances of Saldico, mahihirapan din siyang kumuha ng political asylum because when you say political asylum, ang premise niyan ay may persecution. Paano masasabing may persecution? Ay may basehan yung mga criminal cases. Now, mahihirapan siya sa pag-prove na talagang ginigipit lang siya para mapanagot siya o para makabalik siya. Hindi naman ganyan eh. Meron mga kaso na mga implicated siya. Pero yun na nga, wala pa yung pinaka-formal charge in court. Kaya nga hindi nakapag-apply ng red notice. So again, it's the burden again of our government, yung mga responsible officials na i-oppose yan. Ang application na yan ng political asylum para ipakita na totohanan yung mga kinakaharap niyang mga investigasyon o mga kaso para ma-deny yung application.